Hello, my friends, family, esteemed colleagues. I was asked to talk about sleep apnea and snoring. So, when we talk about sleep apnea, what is sleep apnea? Sleep apnea when people have a problem breathing at night when they are sleeping. Obstructive, they call it obstructive sleep apnea. Okay, now what causes this? Well, very relaxed respiratory system, the palate, and the tissue in the throat. And when it's very relaxed, it's floppy, and it may close passages, airways. You breathe, you suck the air, and the loose tissue starts closing it, and you don't get any air. And it makes noise because it starts vibrating. This is what causes snoring. So again, experts know about this. So symptoms, let's go through symptoms. Excessive daytime sleepiness, yeah, but you didn't sleep at night. Loud snoring. Episodes of stopped breathing. Waking during the night, gasping for air. Awakening in the morning with a dry throat. I explained when we breathe through the mouth, we lose a lot of moisture. And our mouth and the throat becomes dry, painfully dry. This is what attributes to respiratory problems. Morning headaches, why? Dehydration. Trouble focusing during the day. Well, you are tired, you didn't sleep. Plus, your blood is toxic. If you did not have toxic blood, you would not have loose mucous tissue, floppy tissue. High blood pressure, well, normally, because we are talking here about cellular dehydration and acidity. And if your throat, mucosal tissue and nasal passages are dehydrating, well, so is every cell in your body. Now, before we go to causes, let's go to risk factor. What do our scientists see as being a risk factor? Risk factor is based not because they know what's causing this stuff, but it's based on statistics. Statistically, these people are more prone to have this, so it becomes a risk factor. Excessive weight. Now, excessive weight has absolutely nothing to do with this, but people with excessive weight are most likely to be affected. Why? Because they eat the wrong diet. Older age, obviously, because they become more toxic. It's longer you are accepting toxins and you cannot cleanse, the more toxic you become. So older you are, the more toxic you are. Narrowed airways. Why are they narrowed? Inflammation. Why inflamed? Cellular dehydration, cellular acidity. High blood pressure as hypertension. Well, this is again, these are things developing simultaneously. None of them has any effect on one or the other. Those are all symptoms. Chronic nasal congestion, of course. Same thing, it's a part of the system. Now, yeah, smokers, you are poisoning yourself. Diabetes, of course. Again, you are poisoning yourself. Your body is developing diabetes because you're eating poisonous food and you're not cleansing. Male sex, men are 2 to 3 times more affected by it. Why? Because women, when menstruate, they're cleansing their blood. Men do not have this luxury, so they become way more toxic during the life than woman does, until woman goes into menopause, and then it starts feeling the same burden of toxins as a man, and they call it the symptoms of menopause. Well, just symptoms of increased toxic blood and toxic levels in a body. Family history of sleep apnea. Well, families tend to eat the same food. They have the same habits. This is why they develop asthma. Well, asthma, yeah, breathing through the mouth, drying mostly your passages of your nasal passages and your respiratory tract. Okay, so causes. Obstructive apnea occurs when the muscles in the back of the throat relax too much not to allow proper breathing. Well, the allowing, it's not only the muscle, yeah, muscle and mucosal tissue has the muscles. But this is what I'm explaining when I'm talking about, let's say, problem with heart valves. When do you have a problem with mitral valve? When it's becoming dehydrated, it's losing tension. Dehydrated muscle loses tension, so it starts caving in. Dehydration causes shrinkage, so the edges of the valve become uneven, like a prune. Doesn't close well. Plus it's caving in, so you start having blood. When heart compresses, the valve doesn't close well enough, and under pressure caves in, and some blood starts going the wrong way. So you're pumping less blood in the right direction, which may then show problem with low oxygen, which then heart starts to compensate by beating faster. But then we blame the heart as having a problem, something wrong with the heart. Let's kill the messenger center, let's burn it out, let's slow down the heartbeat with all kind of stupid crap, as we are being misguided in the medical school, because it's controlled by cabal, which inverts everything. So same thing is happening with our veins. Since veins have way less push, only when is systole, when is diastole, the blood may be in a vein under the weight. It will be pushing downwards until again systole occurs, and not to go back and forth. The veins have valves, and they close. So when they open under pressure, so when blood goes, and then they close. So so blood always goes up in a vein, doesn't go down. But then when the valves flops, when they are dehydrated, they lose tension. So they start caving in, and they may actually cave all the wrong way. And you have one part of the vein now that the flaps are not closing, so more pressure is in bigger area, makes pressure on the side of the vein, dilates it, and the stagnated blood, and what we have? Varices, varicose veins, problem of circulation. This is why when they say, well, if you have the apnea, if you are snoring, then you are in higher risk to have this if you have a high blood pressure or circulatory problems. Well, they come from the same cause. They develop simultaneously. You cannot use statistics to explain why things happen. The same as you cannot use symptom and blame it for causing another symptom. Symptom is symptom. Something caused them. One symptom cannot cause another symptom. Unfortunately, doctors are not aware of it because they are being miseducated through science. So how do we repair this? We can repair the heart valve, we can repair the flaps and veins, and we can repair the soft palate so it regains tension, so it doesn't vibrate when we are breathing. You can control this if you sleep on the side, because you change the shape of the palate and you will not snore or snore less, breathe easier. But when you're on a back, it's right there, pressure is all coming down. Sleeping on the stomach will also be easier. Now, saying that obese people are more likely to have this, it's not true. If you gain excessive weight by eating correctly but eating too much fat and stuff, then you may not have any problems with, and if you have otherwise not eating plants, and especially raw plants or seeds, which all are toxic, not having coffee or poisons that they put in cigarettes, or even the nicotine, it prevents cellular hydration. Then you are not going to have these problems. Cellular hydration causes them. What stops cellular hydration? Well, the strongest poisons, which regularly people use, are cigarettes, coffee, garlic. Those are three of the strongest ones. Alcohol, four, strongest one. But then medication, every medication is medicinal, means toxic, including aspirin. They will stop cellular hydration. So you want to get rid of this problem and start sleeping well. Well, you have to hydrate on a cellular level, which means correcting diet. Stop poisoning yourself with plants and seeds. Eat carnivore diet. Eat it raw or as raw as you can take it. And hydrate with plasma. You need salt. Plasma is water with salt, sea salt, because it has all the minerals. It's mineralized water with minerals, ions, because blood has to be electroconductive. Energy, what we call energy, is electricity. When you have a good electric charge, you have a good electromagnetic field, you don't have any problems. Well, our problem is because we don't have it, because we are dehydrated and toxic, polluted. Body cannot detoxify when it's dehydrated. It needs plasma to detoxify, not water. When you sweat, you cleanse through skin. When you lick your sweat, it's salty. It's not water. Definitely not distilled water. You always lose minerals. If you don't replenish them, you are in deep, you know what. You have to keep replenishing the lost minerals, salts. But not with a table salt, because purposely they make it toxic. They put iodine in it, potassium iodine, which is bad for us. Then they tell you, oh, use Himalayan salt as another toxic option because it's radioactive. Sea salt, natural, harvested sea salt that is not being cleaned, mingled, whatever. It's slightly gray, could have different color depending on a terrain where they are evaporating the seawater. When they are scooping, it may have some debris colors from the soil. But that's not a problem. But should not be overly dirty, because when you put it in a water and you mix it, it should not have heavy sediment. Maybe a little bit. Salt I get has some sand in it that stays on the bottom because has not been cleansed, has not been manipulated in another way, just grind it and sold. So knowing what to do will resolve not only problem of snoring, but all the problems of pain, of discomfort, of all the diseases. All the chronic diseases are caused by the same thing. It's very hard to talk about one health issue and not get sidetracked into all kinds of different things, because it's all involved in it. And ultimately we go to diet. Now dietitians know squirt about diet. They know nothing. Everything is wrong science. Same as with doctors. They have no clue because they have been scientifically indoctrinated. It's not science, it's science. It's purposely mingled with to be misinterpreted. Follow self-healer's protocol. This is guide to correct eating habits and the correct food, correct diet, and correct hydration. You do that, your body is programmed to cleanse and self-heal. It will do it, but just stop poisoning it and give it what it needs. Try to wash your car without water. Let me see how you're going to do it. Or dishes. Or yourself. You need water. Body needs plasma because water would kill it. Water without minerals is not electroconductive. You would die instantly. This is why when you drink distilled water, you urinate much more and you sweat more. So people think automatically, whoa, I'm cleansing faster. No, your body is rejecting water. It cannot bond to minerals because it has to maintain the electroconductivity, proper electroconductivity. We have much to learn. Everything we know is lie. But it is difficult to accept truth when all you know is lie and you accept it lie as your truth. So how do you accept this? This is why, who are the most difficult to deal with when we go to science? Scientists, doctors. Cannot convince doctor that to lower blood pressure, it has to give plasma. Yeah, but blood pressure rises. Well, it rises at the beginning because body is severely dehydrated. Blood vessels are very dry. They lost elasticity. So when you start hydrating them, it's like putting water in a hose pipe. It gets stiffer and stiffer because It's not flexible, but it needs this plasma so it can hydrate, cleanse, and start actually getting softer, more flexible, and blood pressure starts dropping. What happens with apnea, sleep apnea, is very similar. It's all on cellular level, all caused through dehydration. We have a deterioration of muscles and membranes, which become floppy, they start vibrating, and they can actually interfere under suction. Pop, they close, in the throat, they basically shut it down. And then lack of oxygen body has many different emergency outlets, and it works with them. But we see the symptoms of problems caused by dehydration. Nothing else. It's dehydration. Follow the self-healers protocol and you will resolve the issue. Which means eat correctly, hydrate correctly, and allow your body to heal. Thank you for listening. Till next time, love you all. God bless you. Namaste.